maybe we won't start till December or whatever. So I said, yeah, whatever you want to do, but I have to know so that I can.
Did you ask people who would want to come?
I did, but that was some said yes, some said no, but it's just what Belmont wants to do, even though they're open now.
I might, if you do Friday, I might switch from Wednesday to Friday since I come here Wednesday night.
Yeah, yeah.
Then I'd have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Yeah, yeah. But they're up in the air because I think maybe they didn't want to go through the rigmarole as getting people to come for 3 sessions for November.
Oh, okay.
You know, it was kind of.
Start later.
Yeah, it would start in December, so make it. No, December.
What?
December.
Oh.
Because they gave me like a week's notice and then they didn't even think about it. And okay, we'll line up. Okay, we could step up. Want to step up a little? Yeah, we can fill it in a little. Get a little more. Yeah, that's good. Ready? Bow. Salute. Okay. Oh, no wonder we don't have room. It's the mirrors are attacking. Not yet. So you can take a couple of steps forward this way so that people in the back will end up having a little room. Ready? Hands up, feet shoulder width. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and stop. Okay, to the side. 1, 2, 3. Switch. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and stop. Okay. Hands up. Reach down. 1, 2, 3. To your right. To your left. Center. Inhale. Exhale. Hands up. Reach down. 1, 2, 3. To your right. To your left. Center. Inhale. Exhale. Hands up. Reach down. 1, 2, 3. To your right. To your left. Center. Inhale. Exhale. Your hands in your waist. Circular movements. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2. Center cross. Knees. Circular movements. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1 and reverse. 1. Switch hands. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2. Center, hands in your waist. Neck turning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Back and forth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2. Center, tilt to the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2. Center, down, circular movements. 1, 2, 3. Reverse. 1, 2, 3. Center, hands up, pull in, inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Spread your feet, turn your shoulders. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, and stop. Center. Stretch it out. Switch. 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 Switch, straighten the front knee. Switch. 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 Okay, center. Okay, shake it up. Deep breathing. Inhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, shoulder roll. Hands in your waist. Circular movements. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Press, release, exhale, inhale. Minor. There's someone. And stop. Center. Deep breathing. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, wrists. Reverse. Okay, palms down. Bigger circle. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and stop. Okay, shake it out. Okay, ready? Lift. Okay, insert needle. Switch. And center. Okay. Leg swing. Switch. Okay, center, side to side. Okay, switch. And center. Shake it out. Hands up. Deep breathing. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Silk rilling. Switch. Okay, cross, open and close. Switch. Okay, center, circular movements. Okay, lower hoop. Shoulder height. Elbows down. Okay. Palms down. Extend. Okay. Palms up. Deep breathing. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, diagonal flying. Switch. Okay, cloud hands. Okay, palms down, carry tiger to the mountain. Infinity sign. Form the fist. Strum the lute. Vertical elbow. Turn and draw the bow. Okay, fan to the back. Okay, raise the hand. Okay, palms down, deep breathing. Okay, go to the form. Face that way to start. Short form. Preparation. Turn the corner. Step up. Grasp the sparrow's tail. Single whip. Hold the ball. Diagonal flying. Shift and step up. Raise the hand. Bend from the waist. Stork flaps wings. Turn. Brush knee 4 times. Third brush knee, left side. Strum the lute. Close the door. Form the fist. Divert, block, and punch. Left it and tie mountain. fist on the elbow. Repulse the monkey. Third, repulse the monkey. Neutral right. Hold the ball. Twist step. Diagonal flying. Sit back. Insert the needle. Fan to the back. Turn, stroke down, parry and punch. Step forward, form the fists, and punch. Divert, block, and punch. Cross the arm, leopard and tiger springs to mountain. Bring the hands down. Carry tiger to the mountain. Cross the arms. Raise the hand. Bend from the waist. Stork flaps wings. Left side grasp the sparrow's tail. Single whip. Hold the ball. Reverse the ball. Pivot your feet. Diagonal flying. Sit back. Stroke down. Pot the horse's mane. Step up. Stroke down. Pot the horse's mane. Cross corner. Jade Lady work shuttle. Hook your wrist and turn to the front. Cloud hands. Hold the ball. Diagonal flying, right side, close the form. Okay, back to the front, deep breathing. So when we first learned the form, we kind of just follow along and we string all these different postures together. But do we actually know where to define each posture by the units? So because you're learning it in a sequence, you may not be able to differentiate between the end of one movement and the beginning of the next. So I'll just call out some of the postures and see if we can identify them. And then if there's a problem, then we should work on, what the beginning of that unit would be and the end of that unit. So let's do left side grasp the sparrow's tail. So that's the mirror image to the right side. So face this way, right? So then to your left side grasp the sparrow's tail. So what's required to do that? So just go through it on your own and then I'll just kind of track it to see what it looks like. And just to keep doing, just keep cycling it through. So by cycling through that same posture, that's how you practice the posture. It's called specificity of training. When you do a movement, because it's on your left side and you haven't done it as much, it becomes something that your body's conflicted in. What I mean by that is, if I'm doing the right side and I start out turning to my right and then I move like this, when I get to my left side, I'm so used to doing it this way that when I start to go this way, it doesn't know how to turn. It doesn't know how to turn because the muscles that require turning has been trained to turn in one direction. So because we haven't balanced out that movement, the body doesn't actually have the program to do that. So you're going to have trouble with the hands in the beginning until you can actually get your body to figure that out. Now, movements like this is pretty easy. There's no turning. The movements are paired. So whether you have this side in the front or this side, that doesn't matter because you're still crossed in the center. If you do this, it becomes something that's easy to do. But when you start to do one side and you start to turn, the body gets a little confused. So to get the left side grasp the sparrow's tail, as you learn from the beginning, it's vertical to horizontal, press, and then you stroke down, and then you bring it across to your front shoulder, and you push. Now when you go through that motion, and it's your left side grasp the sparrow's tail, even though we know that there's the vertical, the horizontal, the slant back, the body has a little bit of difficulty. There's some pausing and some confusion. So this is what has to be sorted out in your mind and also in your body, right? So we did that from here, vertical to horizontal, and roll back and push, draw back and thrust, turn the palms down and slant down. That's easy to do, right? That's grasp the sparrow's tail hand movements. When we go to the right, we find the vertical, so we turn a little to the left, right? Then we go to the right, then we go back to the left, then we go to the right, and we go forward. So that's right side grasp the sparrow's tail. If we go to the left side, we turn here to the right and then to the left. From the left it goes to the right goes to the left, and then it goes to the front position off the front shoulder. Then you hook your wrist. But because we're turning to the right, we had learned to turn to the left first, right? So in Tai Chi we have forward, backward, right, left, center. So if you understand that concept, then when you move in one direction, you're going to go in the opposite direction. And that should make sense because if you turn to the left and you move to the right, there's limits of how far you can go to the right and left. So every time you reach your limit, you have to change directions. So if you go forward, how far can you go forward? You can go as far as you can till you shift all your weight and then step through. Then that's what a stepping an advanced step is. And retreating is to go from the front side, limits, center, and reverse. That's repulse the monkey, retreating. Going forward, we toe out like this to step, find your center, and step up. Grasp the sparrow's tail, right side. Toe out, step up. Here's your left side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you hook your wrists. If we were to toe out and step up, we go to the right side, grasp the sparrow's tail, forward, back, and forward. As we change the hands and change the feet, there's your relationship. That's your step up. To the left side movements. So because motor skill is programmed in the mind and the brain, that sequence of events is not programmed in the beginning, you have to kind of build that, right? So when you build that, you have to teach your body that this is right and this is left. Then you have your reference points. If I'm in the vertical position like this, there's my center line. Forward, right side, grasp the sparrow's tail. If you look at your shoulders and you look at your hips, you have this box. I go to vertical and I turn like this. I'm still on my center, but if I go to this corner, right where that shoulder and this hand lines up, that point tracks to the rear hip. When I separate the hands, I draw that line. That essentially is going from right to left down. When I go from this hip across to this hip, that's going left to right. When I get to this point and I go forward, that's back to front. And then you can reset the center. Okay. So those are the parameters. That's the diagonal position, the horizontal and the vertical lines. Now if I go like this, 1, 2, 3, and 4, you created that zigzag motion, and you created the limits of your movement, the width of your movement, the size of the circles. So the circularity of motion comes from integration and taking out the corners. So on the right side it would look like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you would hook your wrist going a single whip. If we step up and go to the left side, now you have a toeing out. So my foot goes left or to the right and my hand goes to the left. 1, 2, 3. So there's your right-left movement in the transition stepping forward. That transition is a fundamental. It's actually the basis of how you make your forward step. If you're going to tie your upper body and the lower body. If you just step and then go into the hand movements, which is okay when you're trying to build, the stages of this integration, but it's not as good after you've done it for a while. You want to at least start to preset your movement so you understand that there's a relationship between the upper and the lower, because that's truly what balance and motion is. Now there's your left side, right? So when I move this way and I move this way, go to the shoulder, to the hip, across to the front, you filled out all the dimensions that are required to create the dimensional changes. That's volume, that's three-dimensional movement in space. If we speak of proprioception, how do we get the body to recognize that if it doesn't move? It has to go through this process to program the kinetic sequence in the mind and then train your musculature to manipulate your skeletal structure. So all of that is controlled by the mind. So in the Tai Chi principle would be the mind is the director. So the mind controls it.
When you say draw down to the hip, literally means the hip, not past the hip.
Not past the hip.
Yeah.
Well,
Down to the hip, turn to this hip.
yeah,
I'm not over here, I'm pushing
yeah,
out,
right. So that's your,
pushing out in front.
that's pushing out in front of your shoulder. See, it's because it's movement in space, those points change. So, just for an example, if I did grasp the sparrow's tail here, and I'm going to move to the front, a single whip, my hand goes to here, it strokes down to here, and then it moves to here, and then it moves to here. So the continuity of this movement after the push actually starts to turn to there before I actually do the hook, because this is single whip. But when you're learning it, you do this and you set that, and then you set this, and you move to here, you move there, and you draw all the pieces. But the movement itself, once you stroke down, now the width of the movement, because I'm turning, even becomes smaller. So that becomes summation of components. My hand actually only moves this much. But the line itself goes to here, to here, to here, to here. And then you turn to there. There's your shoulder, there's your corner. So when you measure your movements accurately, that's where consistency of your movement comes in. So if I'm doing this, the lines become smaller because the summation of those motions become the total pattern. So while you evolve, that stuff constantly changes. So it's not set in stone. Like this is, only A and B is here when we draw two lines. But it's not the same when you do this, because the hand went like this and then it's sunk as a downward movement to here. So the limits of the movement has to do with functionality, because the space is what we're dealing with. And if you notice, the hands are going to track right through your center. So when I come off this front leg, it's because the structural integrity of this frontward push has to be somewhat circular, because you're coming back into that position until you start to turn. So that's, it gets a little bit more complicated because we're dealing with movement and continuity. But the basic geometry of your position becomes this, to this corner, to this corner, to this corner, to here. But you're still manipulating your skeletal structure, meaning that the wrist, the elbow, the shoulder, the hip, the knee, and the ankle on both sides start to tie together, because if you notice, nothing actually moves independently. Now, the torso, the neck, the sternum, and the lower back is another 3 pieces. Those 3 pieces tied to the other 12. There's 15 pieces of the primary movers that have to be tied together. So that's actually how you complete total body movement and total integration of your circulation. So the joints have to be maneuvered in order for you to get any benefit from it. So the idea of doing this is building that complexity of motion and building that program up in here that, builds tremendous, amount of neurons to help create these actions. Exactly. So Tai Chi is not the hands, it's the body. But no one realizes it's the body, because most people practice out here. Why do you practice out here? Because it's innate to use your hands to reach and you grab. It's a survival skill, actually. How do you grab your food if you don't know how to move your feet, right? So you just reach. So everybody just reaches. Back in the day when we used to have Filene's basement, you go down there, those ladies would, I meant ladies because they were just grabbing, and who's first come, first serve. But that's how that store was, everything's on sale and you just grab and you just reach. And so that's what we do. And, when the people that are really good at it, they not only just grab, they can bump you and then grab it. So that's Tai Chi movements. You shift your weight, your legs actually get you there faster. Tai Chi is take a step and move in. Yeah. So that's functionality. When I teach, like at some of the centers, I tell them, overreaching is when you hurt yourself. Underreaching is really moving your body and not straining yourself. So when you overreach, you actually, the further away from the body you go, the less leverage you have. So if you're going to pick up something, you don't pick it up out there. You pick it up when it's close to your body. And then if you want to lift it here, you bend your knees. So when we do this, we bend our knees. Right? So if you grab my wrist while you bend your knee, if I just go like this, you feel strength, right, in my hand. If I go like this, you feel less here, effort here, because I sink. If I sink, I create enough space to create the movement. But if I don't bend the knee, then I rely on my arm. So that's why learning how to use your strength. So that's another phase of your movement. So when we're here, we're learning to regulate and use the strength. How much strength, the size of the circle, the intent of the motion is really what we're calculating as the idea of how to use your strength and how much strength. So the mind, they say, use your will and not strength. The will is your, they call it the yi, or your conscious intent. So doing that, then you start to understand how movement and the body work. So, okay, so let's go through the long form from the beginning. Okay. And we'll just face the normal way, right? And if you're learning it, Jeff, you want to work with, maybe work with Rob today? And he's just learning the Tai Chi Paradigm form. And Paul, you want to stay with the long form or you want to go there? It's up to you. Okay, all right. Okay, ready? Preparation? Okay, step up, left side, pot the horse's mane. 2 more, step up, right side. Snake 6 out tongue. Downward posture to golden cockerel. Palm strikes face. Single lotus. Brush knee, left push. Plant, punch down the crotch. Step up. Grasp the sparrow's tail. Single whip. Second downward posture. Ride the tiger. Palm strikes face. Double lotus. Draw bow to shoot tiger. Step up. Palm strikes face. Turn. Parry and punch. High pat the horse. Hold the ball. Reverse the ball. Diagonal flying. Okay, deep breathing. So, simple as it appears to be to do the grasp the sparrow's tail, and those concepts are in every single posture that we have as far as right, left, forward, backward, center. Most of us actually don't realize we're not always doing that, because while we're going through the form, the body mechanism, body form isn't picking up on some of those concepts because everything seems to be separate. It seems to be that's that posture, there's this posture, but the body is the same. So we have to actually get our body to recognize that. So the patterns that we develop in motion and the fundamentals really define the space. But when we go through the movements, those patterns aren't picked up because the body doesn't recognize it, so you can't assimilate those positions. So what ends up happening is you go through it, the body doesn't, because it doesn't pick up, it can't relearn. So repatterning your movement, and what are patterns? Patterns are habits. When you have habits in the body, it'll consistently do it that way because it thinks it's the way it should do it. And it could be something that's similar to what we're doing. It might be just holding or not folding the elbow, because the elbows become rigid from the patterns that you have. So when you're doing your movements, you have to repattern a lot of the motions in order for your body to go through the transition, and that's how you evolve. When we stroke down like this, and you don't fold the elbow, your hands are going to look like this. But did you relax the shoulder? You relax your shoulder, otherwise your arm wouldn't move, right? If you do this after brush knee and we sit back and we go forward, do we know what the hand should be doing before you do the punch down to crotch? So when you're doing the movement and you did a brush knee, did you step up? Did you go forward and turn, brush down, and then control the other side? That's your secondary hand. So every pattern you have on one side that it's learned becomes something that you realize that it has to do something. when you first do parry and punch, it's this kind of thing, right? Because this hand doesn't